Hello and welcome, my word wizards, my super sentence stackers, my vocabulary visionaries. I am zinging with excitement. We have 2 lessons left together, and I know that you are becoming absolutely great writers. Welcome to the classroom here in the UK and beyond, and together, under the wing of Mrs. C, we are improving our craft. Okay, everybody, you know how it goes, what I want from you. I want pens up, jot quick. Oh, Mrs. C, I wish you could learn your own blinking jingle. Okay, here we go. Should we forget that didn't happen? Okay, pens up. Think at pace, jot quick, writing's ace. And actually, you'll have fire bursting out of your pen and pencil because Soon it is your time, your whole time in fact, to show me what you can do by yourselves. Soon, after I've worked with you, you are going to write independently. And this is when I start to see the magic happen. I see what you've learnt, and you will plan, you will write, you will edit to improve. And that is when I truly will spend some time looking closely at your work and the things you can do. Okay, everybody. Well, I'm a little bit heartburst overwhelmed today because there is so much to celebrate. In fact, I'm scooping up a whole school to celebrate. And don't be upset that I don't mention your school because I do notice everybody, mark my words. But the Holy Rosary in Burton-on-Trent, well, Miss Sanderson in Year 6 said they are fearless spellers. Fearless, can you feel that? You know, she's trying to push up through the shadometer past brave. Fearless spellers, well, I can see that. I can feel that. And, well, they are writing from Year 2 to Year 6. There is so much to celebrate, but please look at Louis's work. Louis, he has deepened the moment and writes a sentence that includes this little moment. A special person to his life. And Eliza, well, her simile, oh, it's so poetic. I feel so connected with it, like a hawk through the midnight sky. And then Erin, well, it's just so joyous, full of the onomatopoeic words while pots and pans went dong and slam. But it's not just Year 4, it's everywhere in that school. It's palpable. And Ruby had shimmering shoes, and Keegan in 6S had the word shattered, and Elise had ladylike shadow. And the teacher says there are gems, treasures, beauty everywhere, glimmering and shimmering, not just like her shoes, but locked in the language choices. I know, maybe I'm getting too excited. The stack is growing, and Macy from Year 4, from Dunbarney Primary School, her vocabulary, it caught my eye. I didn't even have it in my vocabulary vault, but she had it in her writing, traumatised. And then Archie is in Year 2. Go, Archie. You know, you might be 6, you might be 7, you'll know. But he had that lovely double verb pairing of bashed and pinged and weaved and jumped. Oh, Archie. Heartburst to you. And Hamza. Hamza had familiar shoes, familiar fragrance. I love that repetition for effect. In fact, I'm just overwhelmed with your attainment. So, what have we got in store today? Well, you're going to get your thinking side ready. And I am going to say, I want Learning Chunk 1 sliced across that way. I want Learning Chunk 2 sliced across that way. And Learning Chunk 3 sliced that way. We're going to make 2 word banks for each learning chunk. I'm going to leave that on the screen, and 30 seconds. Off you go. Okay, we've been through highs, we've been through lows. This is Winston's journey. There has been so much happening for Winston, but we are now really pushing up to the highest point of positivity. We're coming close to our happily ever after. We're coming to this moment. I want us now to watch plot point 8. And as we watch, I want you to bring to this your imaginations. I want you to watch closely, But I also want you to go beyond the screen in your mind's eye. What else can you see? What else can you imagine? What else can you infer?
Sorry. Come on, boy.
Wait.
There are 3 things you need to do today to be successful writers. And you might notice Mrs. C is making it a little bit trickier every day. That is because I can see and read the improvements. So, this is not easy, but I love that thinking hard, working hard. I'm so proud of you, you know. Okay, the 3 things today. We need to do a relative clause, do not panic. I'll show you how to embed it. Well, how do you embed it? You drop it in between commas, but I'm here to help you, so do not worry. The second thing we're going to do is, this is so fascinating. We're going to drop some dialogue in, but it's unsaid dialogue. Oh, look at that little writerly device we're going to do, the unsaid. But the writer can say it. And the third thing, the third aspect, is we're going to introduce a list. It's going to be a long list. And we're going to use a very high order punctuation mark, a colon. A colon is a bit like stand still, everybody, stop for a moment for emphasis. I'm going to introduce a list. Oh, then we're going to milk it. 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 6 things. So exciting. Are you ready? I hope you are. I'm having feedback from teachers into my DMs. They like to do that, you know, and they've told me you're getting very good at jotting and kind calling out. Okay, here we are then. We are in Word Bank 1 on the thinking side. And I'm looking at this moment now where Winston, he's been on a mission. He's found her, the familiar fragrance, the familiar smell. But who is following? Dad. Dad in a dressing gown. Dad with socks on. They like to do that, don't they? Dad with socks on and sliders. And I don't mean in a cool way. And he looks a little bit dishevelled and undone. To be honest, he looks ridiculous. I want to think about in a synonym family for my thesaurus thinking. I want to think about other words for ridiculous, and I've got 2 good ideas. The first idea is, it sounds like ridiculous at the end. It's got the same ending, ludicrous. Be a brave speller. Be a fearless speller. Ludicrous. Ludicrous. Preposterous. That's a good idea. Preposterous. Sound it out. I can check it later. They're my 2 ideas. I want you to chat. I want you to jot. I challenge you to come up with 4 other words that mean ridiculous. And before you do it, think about the words that we used to describe the leaf. Teachers up quick, lickety split, kind calling out. Oh, brilliant. Great collecting. Now we're going to think about moving to the second part of our learning chunk. And I want to think in a bigger chunk than words. I want to think in a bigger chunk than phrases. I want to think about a clause. And I'm going to start this clause with the word who. Who, and the who extra description I'm going to think about is about Dad. And Dad, who was ridiculous. Dad, who was peculiar. Dad, who was half undressed and sweaty with sliders on. That's who I'm thinking of. I just want to drop some extra information in my sentence about Dad. Who looked like he had seen better days. Yes. Well, he did look smarter at the beginning, I seem to remember. Dad, who was terribly embarrassed, let's turn it up a bit, who was mortally embarrassed. Embarrassed. Embarrassed is a tricky one. Is it 2 R's or 2 S's? Feeling very unbrave now. It could be 2 R's and 2 S's. This is the bit I'm nervous about, but I'm going to brave it. I'm going to check it in a moment. What I want you to do now is to chart. I want you to chart a who clause. Well, how embarrassed am I? It's double R, double S. How embarrassing that I got it wrong, double R, double S. But I know that now. Good job I checked. Okay, you were chotting, and now I want you to kind call out. Are you ready, teachers? Are you up? Are you lively? Gathering their clauses. Off you go. Oh, well done. Okay, everybody, we're now moving to writing side, and you're going to see inside my writer's brain. You're going to see what I keep, what I reject, what I get rid of. Now, I want your teacher to be raring on the writing side because I've got a provided sentence and they can now write that down. Seconds later, comma, his owner appeared in hot pursuit. That's already written into the story. And there's the full stop. And now I am going to write the next sentence. Dad stared. And then I want an adverb, a how adverb, for how he stared. Stared weirdly at her, not quite right, embarrassedly at her, awkwardly. Dad stared awkwardly at her. Now, that is a great simple sentence and it has a verb and an adverb, and all sentences have verbs. Now, you might say I'm showing off here, but I want to now make this a complex sentence. And I'm going to drop a clause in. It's a relative clause. It's related to Dad. And because it's related to Dad, I'm going to drop it here after this comma. I'm just going to create some space here and remember that bit, stared awkwardly at her. And this is where I'm going to put in my who clause. Look, I can do it like this. Dad stared awkwardly at her. And in between the two commas, embedded neatly, can be my who. Who looked sweaty and ridiculous. Who looked, I'm not going to say sweaty, I don't want to embarrass him further. Who looked ridiculous and dishevelled. You know, dis, when you hear dis, is it D-I-S, D-E-S? What's more common? Dis is actually more common, so I'm going to go with that. Dishevelled. Dad, who looked ridiculous and dishevelled, stared awkwardly at her. I want you now to write me a complex sentence with a who clause dropped in between two commas. Don't forget your two commas. Off you go. Well done, everybody. Great, complex sentence writing. And I like your comma checking. Okay, we are moving to Learning Chunk 2, and we're in Word Bank 1 space. And this is where we're really thinking, where they turn towards each other. Their eyes meet. Well, because of Winston's work, actually. And it reminds me of my own life. The day Mr. C raced to the airport. He was wearing a gravy-stained jumper and he had some patterned socks on with his Crocs. And he rushed across the open area and he told me how much he loved me. Well, this is like that moment. That moment they become one. We need words, synonyms for the they become one moment. And what I'd like you to do actually is look at this list. Now, I've tricked you. I've made a list of both positive words that mean they become one and words that don't mean that. And what I'd like you to do in Learning Chunk 1 is to choose the right words. So from this list, I'm going to choose united. I feel united means they become one. But I'm going to order them for intensity. And further up means it feels stronger, more connected. I want you to have a go at that. I'm going to leave that on the screen while you chot. You need to choose and order. Off you go. Okay, everybody. Now we're going to do a kind calling out and we're going to see if there are any, I'm really interested in this, extra words that we can layer into our intensity scale for they become one. Off you go. Oh, excellent work. And I love the additions. Okay, what we're going to do now is think about the unsaid. Dad just looks at her and she just looks at Dad. And actually, nothing is said. but we are going to imagine what could have been the words in this space between them. What could they have been? What didn't even need to be said? Well, I've got some ideas. These are my ideas. Let me show you. First idea is this was meant to be. Oh, do you know, I thought that when Mr. C ran over, this was meant to be. And I wish he'd buy a washing machine as well. And then the other thing I've been thinking about, which would be lovely to have said, but they didn't need to say it, would be this. I love that dog. Really love that dog. But I'm going to be a little bit more romantic than that. I love that dog. Ellipsis. And you. They're my two wonderful romantic ideas. And I know all the boys in Holy Rosary in Year 6 like to be romantic. Can't wait to read your work. Off you go. You are now chotting. Okay, excellent. Teachers up, smiling, zinging with excitement. We are kind calling out. And remember, no hands up, always kind. Let's gather our ideas. Excellent work. Great collecting. I love seeing your vocabulary vaults bursting with language. We're moving to writing side and we do have a provided sentence. Teachers, if you could write that down now for me, and I'm going to read it. They turned towards each other and their eyes met. We know why we've got that there, because it is belonging to them. It is their eyes. And now, watch Mrs. C and look inside her writer's brain. Look at why I choose the language I do, because you are going to mimic for the same effect. we talked about this space, and it is in the unsaid we are going to label the space. And I'm going to mention that now in the writing. I'm going to start with the determiner the and use that word space. The space between them, bringing them together now. The space between them. And because it doesn't actually happen, I need the word sort of, too casual, too chatty, seem to, that's better. I really love that word, seem to. It's when a writer can take a leap of imagination. You know, what was better, the book or the film? This is where the book is better because we can lace these sort of internal moments of inner thought or external space labelling. The space between them seemed to talk. It's okay. Seem to say might be better. Seem to say, and I'm going to use one of these words. Seem to say in sync. Seem to say in a combined way. Seem to say in unison. And then I'm still going to use accurate speech marks because even though it's imaginary talk, I'm going to drop it in like this. Say in unison, capital letter here, let's, meaning let us, and that apostrophe shows the drop letter. Let's get back together. I know it's not about my life, but you know, you'll realise as you get older, you'll have these experiences, you know. But perfect for the film. I want you now to write the unsaid into your story. Off you go. I cannot wait to read your complex sentences with your embedded relative clause. I'm so excited. And I actually know there are many of you deepening the moment. You are not plot pushing, you are adding more detail on the moment you are on. And that is really impressive. Okay, come with me, everybody. We are moving to Learning Chunk 3 and we're looking in the first word bank space. And I want us to think about the wedding day. I want you to think about all the things you can see in a wedding day, the sights of a wedding day. And actually, not just the sights. I also want you to think about the sounds of a wedding day. We're going to think about the film, but we are going to infer beyond the screen. And some of the things I've been thinking of, well, I've been thinking of, I've been thinking of camera. There are lots of cameras that flash on wedding days, getting the perfect pictures. I've been thinking about confetti. Now, I know there's a double letter in this. Is it the F, confetti? I feel like the emphasis is there. And then, the bride's bouquet. I'm going to write that down. They're my ideas. And I know there are positive things to listen to on wedding days too. I'm going to challenge you, actually. Can you think of 5 fabulous sights? Can you think of 3 wonderful sounds? Off you go, chotters. Using some of the words you've collected, you're going to kindly call them out. Remember, if you already have it, add it and, tick it off, I meant to say, actually, tick it off. And if you've not got it, you can add it to your list. Remember, it's no hands up and it's the last chance to build up our bank. Off you go. Quieter. Okay, good. Hello, everybody. Great writing. Okay, well, I'm sorry I got a little bit distracted there because I was just chatting to my friend who's turned up. She's been my friend for a very long time and she's been in reception today helping all the younger children collect brilliant words for the big bad wolf. Well, you want to meet her? Well, you can meet her. Come in, come on. Hello, Grandma.
Hello, Mrs. C.
Oh, how are you today? You look lovely. You look divine, in fact.
Thank you, I've got a new perm.
Oh, I love your perm. You look brilliant. Now, what is in your basket today?
I've got smiley face positive adjectives that you might need.
Well, I think we do need some positive. Do you know why we need some positive adjectives? Because actually we're describing a wedding. So I am going to take a little look in your basket, Grandma. Let's have a look at the very first word here. Oh, this is a good one. Tender.
Kiss.
Oh, kiss, tender kiss. Oh, Grandma, that is a good idea. Tender kiss. I was thinking tender touch. Oh, do you mind if this is well, you have surpassed yourself, Grandma. This is a good word. Joyous.
Day.
It's okay. Joyous day. I was thinking joyous applause. Oh, another word. Wow. Well, this is good. Let's have a look at this. Stylish.
Winston.
Stylish Winston. Yeah, I can see what you've done there. I mean, he is wearing a bow tie. I like it. I just think it would just be better with the dress, stylish dress. I mean, you've got some good ideas, Grandma. Now, I've got to admit, I hadn't thought of this. Poignant.
Look.
Poignant look? Yes, it's okay. Poignant kiss. Oh, Grandma, thank you for coming in today. I've really enjoyed your visit and enjoy the rest of your day and come and see me next week, why don't you?
Thank you, Mrs. C.
Oh, thank you, Grandma. Oh, Grandma, she's ever so busy. Oh, she's always trying to help out in the school. That's lovely, isn't it? Okay, well, I'm going to take a note of some of those gorgeous words. I've got tender, thank you, Grandma. I've got joyous, yes, stylish, and poignant. I need positive adjectives to describe the wedding. I need words to describe the wedding bells. I need words to describe the champagne flutes. I need words to describe all sorts of things. How many smiley face words can you come up with? And you've got to try and do it without the help of Grandma. Off you go, Chotters. Oh, that was wonderful. Now, don't forget about wonderful and special and words like that. Your teachers now, are they smiling? Are they ready? Are you being kind? Are you ready to audit an ad? We are Kind Calling Out. Okay, well done, everybody. And teachers, you can feel this with me, can't you? They are quicker, they are slicker, they have a sense of how to work vocabulary for a reason, getting the right words at the right times. You know, I've been so impressed. Actually, think back to our very first day together. Think how far you've come. Now, there are 3 things I want you to do now on this writing side. In a moment, I'm going to ask your teacher, and you can do it alongside as well, to write 2 provided sentences into the story. Then I'm going to model. I'm going to model a sentence that creates the perfect wedding. And I'm going to have it as a collection of perfect moments. And we're going to list them. I'm actually going to list 6, and I'm going to challenge you to list 6 as well. But more than that, if you finish that, I don't want you to rush it. If you finish it and do it well, I'm going to give you 4 minutes today. I want you to have a go at deepening the moment. I don't want you to go beyond the wedding. I want you to stay on the wedding. The sights, the smells, the sounds of the wedding, the environment, the things that were said, the things that we can imagine were said. I need you now to show me what you can do by yourselves. I want you to see if you can glimmer a bit of deepen into your writing. So let's read the provided sentences, and your teachers in unison with me can write them. Precisely 1 year later. Oh, I love how you can do that in writing. You can push the time on very quickly. They got married. Sorry, I'll read that as one complete sentence. Precisely 1 year later, they got married. Wedding bells rang out in the restaurant's garden. The garden belonging to the restaurant, that's why that apostrophe is there. And now watch this perfect collection of moments. Their wedding, it belongs to them, that type of there. Their wedding was, I've used this, so I'm going to run with it, was a collection of special moments, perfect moments, magical moments I'm going to have, just a little gentle little nudge of alliteration. Their wedding was a collection of magical moments. I could put a full stop there, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to now, almost like a pearl necklace that a bride would wear on their wedding day, I'm going to have 6 complete gem-like moments. Grandma wants me to say stylish, but I'm going to say smart. A smart Winston, comma, it's a list. A poignant kiss. A tender kiss would work there as well. A poignant kiss. A soft, I'm going to use tender there actually. A tender embrace. How many things have I got? 3. Got to keep going. A happy tear. That was Mr. C on his wedding day. I don't know why he was crying. Happy tears, of course. Oh, look, I'm going to do something different here. Now, I'm going to, look, a clinking of glasses. And the whole reason why they're there. Can you feel the writing goosebumps? Does this ever happen to you? And a wagging tail. I want you now to write your perfect wedding day and the 6 magical moments. Off you go. I'm so proud of you, and you need to be proud of yourselves. Your writing genuinely gives me goosebumps. I'm going to read my work back now so we can get a sense of plot point 8. And it's not quite the end of the story. We're going to do that tomorrow. But let me read my work back. Seconds later, his owner appeared in hot pursuit. Dad, who looked ridiculous and dishevelled, stared awkwardly at her. They turned towards each other and their eyes met. The space between them seemed to say in unison, "Let's get back together." Precisely 1 year later, they got married. Wedding bells rang out in the restaurant's garden. Their wedding was a collection of magical moments, a smart Winston, a poignant kiss, a tender embrace, a happy tear, a clinking of glasses, and a wagging tail. I can't wait to read your work, and make sure your teachers get their submissions into me. They can send me their submissions via Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and that's what I'm going to be doing this evening. Thank you for taking part in live lessons. And I am sad it's our last writing lesson together tomorrow, but I'm also going to make the most of it. I'll be zinging with excitement, and I'm sure you will too.